Okay. Hello and welcome. It's time for One on One. And we'd love for you to join us every single time we go live. Make sure you subscribe to this channel, hit the notification bell so that you do not miss another update. We go live on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays from around 5 p.m. all the way till around 8. One on One has interesting conversations. We have inspiring conversations with leaders, change makers, visionaries from various industries, and it's always a blast. Today's topic is an interesting one, and one I think you're going to have a lot of interest in. Today, we're discussing the role of software engineers in Nigeria's digital transformation. Now, we're looking deep at skills, competencies, things that people need to have. And we're having an interesting guest with us today. His name is Alex Oweka. He is an experienced front end full stack developer specializing in React JS, JavaScript, TypeScript, Node.js, ExpressJS, MongoDB, and MySQL. So if you're not so sure about those languages I'm talking about, you need to go check it out yourself. But hopefully, he'll be able to break down this topic for us. He's skilled in building dynamic, user friendly web applications. And yeah, it's been a journey for him. How's it going? How's it going, Alex?
Hi, Titi. Thank you for that lovely introduction. I'm fine. How are you?
Fabulous to have you with us on One on One. Now, for those that are wondering, now he has proven expertise. I think that proven in quotes there, in front end development, creating visually stunning and responsive interfaces across various devices and browsers. Now, he's really passionate about staying at the forefront of all the technological advancements. I have quite a few questions for him. I know he's really busy. He wants to get back to his computer sometime soon. It's all about software engineers driving Nigeria's digital transformation. Now, that's a lot of big words. We're hearing about loads of conferences, loads of hackathons, loads of events happening in Nigeria, in West Africa, towards some sort of digital transformation. Why do you think this is relevant right now? And what are the key sectors that we should look out for if you want to invest, for instance? Go ahead. Go ahead with your
Okay.
response.
Thank you very much for that question, Titi. So, software development is a very relevant field. I mean, it's basically problem solving. That's what software development is all about. Your ability to solve problems using software. So, whether I can write a programming language or code low level or high level stuff, that's basically what software engineering is. The ability to solve problems. And it's very important because this is the 21st century. You have a lot of things that have been digitized. You have electric vehicles, you have electric fridge, you have websites, you have mobile phones and different applications. So there's so many things, so many problems that you can solve with tech. And I think that's why software development is a very relevant field in 21st century. Yeah. I mean, growing up, um, 10, 15, 20 years ago, I mean, we didn't have this amount of tech around us. I remember like the most high tech thing I can remember from then was a Nokia Symbian phone. So that was like the most high tech thing. But now these days, you have like so many powerful tech things out there, so many devices and platforms. Yes, so it's very relevant.
I have to say there's certain industries that make it even more. Well, it was kind of hard to see these industries fall into that more digital space. I'm thinking about healthcare, for instance. Now I know that e-commerce is essentially, fintech, e-commerce, healthcare. They essentially need a lot of people such as yourself to make them tick. But could you break it down for a layman like myself? How exactly are software engineers driving this transformation across all these sectors?
All right. So You mentioned fintech, and I think fintech is a very apt example in the sense that a couple of years ago, if you like want to send money to somebody, you would have to write a check, or have to go and queue at the counter just to make a money transfer. But with platforms like MoneyPoint, OPay, PalmPay, etc, you send your money ASAP and bam, it's like in the other person's phone within like 5 seconds of transaction happening. Now, this is a very, very big impact in terms of how we um, pay for things, how we carry out trade as well, because it improves like the trust between the two parties that are carrying out the transaction. And that's not the only way that fintech has helped us to drive Nigeria's digital transformation. You have very innovative financial products like Piggyvest, Carrywise that enable you to save money, as a young person, because I mean, you have to save money. You also have platforms that help you to invest as well, like Bamboo, Chakra, RiseVest, etc. These are very, very valuable additions to our economy, if you ask me. And aside from fintech, you have platforms also in healthcare. Platforms that are doing telemedicine. Platforms like what's this people's name? This insurance company. I use them as my HMO, so I can't remember their name. But yeah, they are there. They do telemedicine. You just call the personal number and then they route you to a doctor, and the doctor, carries out diagnosis on you and prescribes medicine to you. You also
Mm.
have platforms that help you to monitor your health. You have the iWatch, the Apple Watch. It's a health monitor as well. It measures your blood level, how many steps you've taken today, different things like that that help you keep track of your health. And things like this were not always available in the past, but modern age has made it possible for us to have at the tip of our fingers.
I'm thinking about the skills, the critical technical skills that are sort of essential now. Um, what exactly are Nigerian software engineers focusing on? What do they need to contribute effectively to this transformation? So a lot of people believe that they, of course, because they're just doing their day to day, they're working. But if they were to effect change in today's economy, what exactly are the skills they need?
Okay, so like I started this interview, I mentioned that software engineering, software development is basically a field that requires you to have good problem solving skills. So if you have good problem solving skills, you've solved like half the problem. The other half is like you need to be dedicated and focused, and you have to be consistent. Basically, anybody can write code. Anybody can use the latest shiny framework, JavaScript framework, or PHP framework or whatever to write code for front end and back end development. But yeah, it depends on the field you want to go into. It can be a web developer, it can be a front end developer, a back end developer. It can even be a cloud developer as well. Skills. These are very, very viable fields. I think for cloud development, you need to have knowledge of Azure, um,
Hmm.
Amazon Web Services, GCP, and Docker and Kubernetes. Very, very, very fun technologies to work with, if you ask me.
Okay,
And it's
okay.
something that anybody can pick up. Yeah.
So there's been a lot of different conferences and events regarding cybersecurity. Everybody's talking about AI up and down everywhere. AI, AI, AI. Nigeria is really evolving. At least the conversations have started, but I'm wondering how far we've actually gone in terms of percentage of where we should be. The world is at a particular stage. Where is Nigeria in the actual scheme of things?
Okay. So like you and I know, Nigeria is a very blessed country. We have the manpower, but the major thing we actually lack is the infrastructure. I mean, uh, so I can give you an example. For every modern company you see, like your Carry Wise, Piggyvest, OPay, PalmPay, etc. Major tech companies in Nigeria, they have need to host their services online, and that requires them to use cloud providers like Azure or GCP to host their websites online, so anybody from anywhere can access them. Now, um, most of this cost is in dollars, and it is crazy when you hear how much these companies are actually paying for when it comes to cloud costs every year. It's very huge amounts of money. Now, assuming this is something that this is a potential I feel that Nigerian companies can actually come in and tap into, provide cloud services, reliable cloud services for the rest of Africa, for people in Nigeria as well to get into. Nigeria has, like I said, very, very, very talented workforce. You have developers doing amazing things in Microsoft, Google, Amazon, big, big places. You have Nigerian developers there. So yeah, if you can get the infrastructure right, I mean,
Hmm.
sky is the limit, right at the starting point.
Honestly, I actually really agree with you with regards to the workforce. I speak with people almost every day, and we end up talking about things that you don't see on the street every day. And these are things we hope could have started by now. So this is what leads me to the issue of challenges. We have the usual suspects: power, fuel. What are the other actual challenges that Nigerian software engineers are facing um, that are preventing them from contributing effectively to the transformation of this digital economy?
Okay. Thank you so much for that question, Titi Layo. Like you mentioned, there are so many challenges that software developers are facing. Like you mentioned, the most critical one is power, electricity. Um, I think this is a very big factor because we have people that have to work remote, and if they don't have like a stable source of electricity, it really, really affects how much they can do. It affects their productivity. I mean, people are finding ways to go around that. I mean, but how many people can install solar panels and afford to fuel that gen 24/7? It's exorbitant. It's crazy. Another thing you could do, another problem I know a lot of people face is the problem of internet connectivity. Because most of your work is online, so you need to have like solid data, solid internet connection to make this work. I know people that have like multiple networks on standby. They have fiber, they have Starlink, they have MTN,
Hmm.
everything, just to make sure that
Hmm.
their internet is okay for the job.
Wait,
And
well, I thought they said once you have Starlink, you don't need all the other guys. Is that true?
yeah, you don't necessarily need all the other guys because Starlink has like really good uptime, but still
Okay.
things happen. Things
Wow.
happen. It's
Okay.
you
All right.
need to
Thank you
always be
for that.
ready.
I was saving for that before, but I don't think I will be.
It's a good one. Though. Trust me, it's a very good investment. It's a very good investment.
No
You would
wahala.
enjoy it very well. But always
Yeah,
have in mind that it is man-made, so it can fail at any time. So just have a backup just in case.
true. I'm thinking
Yeah.
a bit about our educational background now. Let's talk about the training institutions. Are they actually preparing our engineers for the demands of this age? And if you know of any particular institution, please mention them and thank them for us. Let's know if they're doing the work, doing it justice.
Okay. So for trainings, I think if you can afford to get a computer engineering degree in Nigeria, it's not a bad background because they'll teach you the fundamentals, and if knowing the fundamentals is very, very good. It takes you very far. But for some of us who were not very lucky to study computer engineering, me myself included, you have to train yourself. You have to
Yeah,
find ways to train yourself. So there are numerous boot camps you can attend.
yeah.
The one I went for was I went for Old School Africa program, but I never finished. I think the program was too slow and was very beginner focused. So if you
Okay.
covered like grounds already, it's like more or less like a refresher course.
Mm.
So you can do ALX, you can do these guys, what's their name?
Coursera, OLX, Udemy.
Yeah, you can take courses on Udemy. Those are online courses, but it's good to I know people that when they start they want to have that feeling of people around them, to
Yeah,
just push them and stuff, which is good. So it's
yeah.
good to attend physical boot camps as well. Yeah, so ALX, Old School Africa, um, I keep forgetting this one, and it's a very popular one as well. I have like yeah
Don't worry.
uh,
As soon as you remember, just with us, no wahala.
no problem, no problem. It's a very rigorous one as well. So that really helps. You spend like 3 6 months there, and then you are
Yeah.
with the right amount of dedication and consistency. You are good enough to write programs. Good enough to build stuff that other people want to use. Yes.
I'm actually a little concerned about comparing the engineers that study here in Nigeria and those that study abroad. So there has always been that culture, that mentality of, oh, they studied abroad, their masters is from on both side of things. There must be stronger. Their own must be better. Is that just a myth as at 2024? And for instance, if you get to study or self train, are you still regarded as an expert with companies outside the country?
Okay. So I would answer the last question first. Um, So it is, like I said, it's always advisable to have a computer science or computer engineering or electrical engineering background because it really teaches you the basics, like so many things that you should know. Paradigms like OOP, object-oriented programming, etc. They really teach you that in the university, Nigerian universities as well. I mean, I have colleagues who finished from Unilag engineering department as well, who came out very strong. But at the end of the day, what makes you really competitive is what you can do and the amount of experience you have, doing really amazing stuff. So even though you don't have the degree, that's fine. You can always make up for it with like your experience and the kind of things you're willing to learn as well. Because one other thing about this career is that you really have to learn every day. Like learning is non-stop. You have to learn something new every day. Um, I'm currently learning like a new framework, how to use a new framework. So I want to start building mobile apps as well. So
Okay.
it's something you have to just keep on doing because if you don't do that, then your skills sort of like plateau, and you don't
Yeah.
want that to happen to you. You don't want that to happen to you at all. In terms of how competitive Nigerian programmers are to foreign ones, I would say Nigerian programmers are very competitive to foreign ones. Like I said, we have people who came from Nigeria, people like Rising Odenugwa, people that are up there, really, really, really high up there in the tech space. They are doing amazing things, and they came from Nigeria as well.
Sure.
So
Sure.
yeah,
On a global scale, what do you think we can do to be more competitive when it comes to the international market? What do you think we need to do? It might be us reaching for the stars right now, but you must have some idea.
okay. So what do I think we need to do to be more competitive? I think Nigeria is a very blessed country. Like we have very talented people, so super talented people in the country. Um, I think the earlier you start programming, like the earlier you start programming, the more adept you get at it. Like if you start programming at the age of 10, 11, 12 years old, by the time you're like 20 something, you are really, really up there. Like the amount of things you know how to do, the amount of experience you built so far, nothing can take that away from you. So if Nigeria can invest in like programming for primary, secondary school students, I'm telling you, like in the next 20, 30 years, for the next 5, 10 generations, we'll be really up there with any country out there. Because I mean, these same people, these primary school, secondary school people are the ones that are, running G these days. I don't know if you understand what I mean. Yeah. So
I
if
do. Okay.
if they can have the patience to learn all the skills needed for that, trust me, if you learn tech skills, if you learn skills that are low level skills, valuable skills, nothing that you cannot do. You're up there.
I'm actually so interested in that because when you think about it, it's the Asian kids that
Yeah.
are doing some of the biggest projects. And I say kids relatively because they put devices, computers, software coding into the hands of their children from what, like age 3, 4, 5. They're coding applications for kids who are 3, 4, 5 years old, and the Asian kids in their schools have computers as desks. Like
Yeah.
literally, tables are computers now. So they probably don't handle a pen or pencil till a lot later on. But when you think about it, this is who we're competing with. This is the market we're competing with. So it does feel like we're a little behind. Um, but there are platforms such as Andela, Decagon. Um,
Yes, yes. Decagon
it-
was what I was trying to remember. Andela
really,
Decagon, yes. Yes.
yeah,
Yeah,
they
Decagon is
have,
very intensive as well. What did you
but
say?
how many slots do they have on average in a year? Compared to the vast opportunity that could be if, for instance, the government was more involved. Um,
Yes.
Boot camps, coding boot camps, innovation hubs like Andela, Decagon, they've contributed. Yes. What's your thought on the competencies? That's the word, based on their contributions.
Okay. So like you said, these boot camps, they've tried, like they have like limited slots. So I know that it's very competitive to get in. I can give you personal experience. So during my NYC in like 2018, so I applied for Decagon's bootcamp. That was like the first time I would attend the bootcamp, and it was like very competitive for like 3 days. People were They had like a selection phase where they would give you like problems to solve, and every day like a lot of people had to leave because they couldn't submit or solve the challenges. So it was very very competitive to get in, because they give you like tests to enter. Same for Andela as well. I know Andela, they have like a limit on the number of years that is required before you can actually apply to Andela. Same with this other company as well, with this Netherlands link. Can't remember their name either, but I'll check my mail for their name. So when it comes to being competitive, those boot camps are like top of the range, very competitive. So anytime and then, even while you're in the program as well, so it's very very competitive, because I have friends who also went through the program. They would talk about how they they've been basically coding like 247 for like weeks, and just to get them up to the level of really good, when compared with other people in foreign countries. So I would say that like pretty competitive. However, with more government intervention, I think if government can support, find a way to like make this blow. I don't know if that's the right word,
Sure.
but yeah, find
So,
a way to make it like catch fire and stuff. Because this is something you can even do for grassroots project as well. You know,
mm. So there are a lot
some
of emerging tech as well. I know that you are in the software engineering aspect of things. So there's a lot of emerging tech. We talk a lot about AI on another podcast on Dynamite Podcast Network. That's a Blockchain Mastery Podcast. We also talk a lot about blockchain, um, and it does feel like the journey. It's just starting. It's just beginning. But a lot of people are discouraged based on, of course, what you said, the lack of infrastructure, etc., etc. I'd love for you to just wrap it up on this area of things. What, in your opinion, does the future hold for software engineering in Nigeria? Do you think it can withstand or compete on an international stage? Um, the role of engineers is kind of evolving over time. Do they have a proper space right now?
Okay. Um, so I think Nigeria has like very competitive tech industry. Even though I feel like there's still a lot of things that can be digified, if that's for lack of a better word.
True.
We have like really massive players like Flutterwave, Paystack, that are international unicorns, doing stuff and disrupting the market. So these are companies that have proven that yes, it is very possible for us to compete
Go
with the
ahead.
very best globally.
Yeah. Sure.
And I think that's a very very important point. Then for the AI case of AI, rising AI, there's been this talk about how AI is like going to take people's jobs, etc, etc, etc. Well, I feel like with every new technology, we're still getting to know like what the limits, or rather what the full effect of AI will be. For some people, they use it as a tool to make their work easier and faster, and very very seamless.
Mm.
And we're just seeing like the tip of the iceberg here. Imagine if when they start taking AI into the fields of biomedical research, finding ways to solve cancer, cure cancer, find ways to cure like very, very dangerous, deadly diseases. So there are still so many things we can do with technology. Imagine if we finally figure out a way to do like fusion reactions and without to burn fossil fuels anymore. Imagine if we find ways to solve the problem with trash, and making the planet very habitable. Things like that. There's so many things that we can do with technology, and I think this is just a start. This is just a start. There's still so much that can be done. Yeah. And I
Okay, so
believe that Nigeria can take this level. Yeah.
I just opened the demo of one of the links you sent earlier on. Let me
Ah, yes.
I opened the live demo
So
of, so I'm just trying to break down what you have in your profile here. So
my
project,
portfolio, okay.
your portfolio, yes, indeed. You worked on this recipe app, Mern recipe. This is Pokedex. What's Pokedex? I can see Pokemon. I know
It's
Pokemon. I don't know what Pokedex is. What is that?
Pokédex like a library for Pokemon, so like you can search any Pokemon you want from that. So these
No
were projects I did like
no
two
long time
years
ago.
ish ago. So
No problem.
so
No
much I
problem.
need to update in this.
It's so interesting just seeing some things you worked on. Though this is a movie app. Um,
Yeah.
this is a movie app. I can see that there right there as well. Data management solution dashboard. Um, what does Scandi Web assessment mean? I'm lost on that. You need to help me out with that.
Like
Of course, I know what
I
you are
said, like I
because
can't remember. I can't remember most of these things. Like it's been such a long time.
advice generator. Interesting. Roll the die and get random advice. Okay. This is interesting stuff. But Alex, it's been amazing talking to you today on one-on-one. Thank you so much for taking our time to discuss this issue with us. Honestly speaking, I feel like we are an industry with, trying to move with our hands tied behind our back. But when I meet people like yourself, it kind of gives me hope, and you're still staying positive, you're still working through all those kinks, and of course supporting other people as well with your projects. Thank you so so much for joining us.
All right, thank you very much for having me, Titilayo. It's a pleasure coming up on your show. Bye.
All right then. Make sure you have a good one, Alex. I'll be
And you
connecting
too.
with you on LinkedIn. Take care.
No problem. Bye.
Okay then. Really interesting projects he's working on. That's nice. That's really nice. All right, so we're wrapping it up on 101 for this edition. And I just wanted to touch on something one more time. There's just so much happening in the digital space. The country is embracing a future powered by tech, from fintech breakthroughs, e-commerce innovations. Software engineers are at the core front of it all. Um, but it takes a lot to drive this transformation. And there are people such as Alex working right there in the space. Alex Oweka is an experienced front-end full stack rather developer, specializing in React JS, JavaScript, TypeScript, Node.js, and many more. He's really skilled and he's been building dynamic, user-friendly web applications for quite a long time. So he's in that space every single day. And he understands the challenges that abound in that space. So hopefully it's been as interesting for you as it has been for me. And if you'd like to find out more, you can check him out on LinkedIn. That's Alexander Oweka on LinkedIn. You can also check out his profile. That's alexanderoweka.netlify. That's NETLIFY .app. and you'll see a lot more about what he does and what he's passionate about. Hopefully, you've learned a thing or two today. I'm going to be wrapping it up now. If you'd like to be on one-on-one one of these days, it's not that hard. All you have to do is send us an email. Very simple. Just send it to dynamitepodcastnetwork@gmail.com, dynamitepodcastnetwork@gmail.com. We'll book you, find a time to have a conversation. It's not hard at all. All right, then. At this point, I'm going to be wrapping it up. Can't wait for you to subscribe so you hit that notification bell so that you do not miss a thing. We'll be coming your way again very, very soon. Not to worry, I got you. Once again,